Hey BookTube, it's Peg. I'm back at the History Shelf. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and wishing you a happy MLK Day. Some of you might have been off from work. I know I was, so was Martine. And so we've had a fun day as far as just working on house projects. I was mostly playing around in my book stacks as we try to move things around and get this place ready for sale. But the purposes of this video, and I know you're all been waiting for this video, it's big. It's big and it's bodacious. This is a book haul of all book hauls. This is the book haul to beat them all.
Oh boy.
Hashtag winning.
Oh God.
Yes.
Wow. You're just going all out then.
I'm going all out.
Tiger blood. Okay.
That's Tiger Blood. This is the Tiger Blood book haul.
Oh dear God. I'm so sorry.
Martine's scared, and she's going to be scared when she sees really.
No, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look. I'm just going to pretend that I knew about this all the.
She's going to act like she knew all along, but really, a lot of these books arrived, and I scooped them off the patio before she saw them. The secret's out. Should I share now that okay, there were some more sales from university presses that I was able to score. We'll talk about that another day. But we have some really good stuff coming to the History Shelf.
You're cute, honey.
Oh, thank you. Isn't that sweet? So anyway, yeah, this is a book haul that I just, I'm going to put it out there. I throw the gauntlet down. Try to beat this. Try to beat it. You can't. You can't. Okay. I know. Okay, guys, so these books came at different times, not all at once, obviously. I've been saving them up, and then things got busy, so I wasn't able to make videos. But now I'm going to do them. I'm going to get them off of this area, get them stored where I need them to be stored, and then we can cruise along. But obviously, I want to get these on my shelves, and I do. There's a lot of these I want to get to sooner, as far as reading, sooner rather than later. But I was able to get some incredible deals at Hamilton Book and also at Book Outlet. So I'm sure a lot of you bookish peeps know how to, you have your favorite places to go. I know a lot of people love Book Depository, half-price books. Everyone's got their favorite, but my favorite is hamiltonbook.com, and then backed up by bookoutlet.com. So anyway, let's just start right off, shall we? Pull up a chair, a comfortable chair, get some snacks and a drink. And
use the bathroom real quick if you need to.
Use the bathroom if you need to. I know it's going to be a long video, and I risk losing viewers after a certain amount of time, but you know what? With a book haul this large, I just don't want to break it up into two pieces because I just don't. You just have to be here for the full effect.
And she's saving the best to last.
I know. I'm going to say the best to last. You best be sticking around to the end. Do you know what I'm saying? Also, feel free to just pause. As you're watching, you can always watch half of this later on or something. And according to a couple of people that I know fairly well, they like to fall asleep to my videos. It's very soothing. And I take that as a compliment. So if you feel like you want to fall asleep to this later, by all means, please do. Okay, so we're going to start off with a few books that I picked up from, I think these came from Book Outlet. And okay, so there's a story behind this book, in that I wanted this book when I was doing a book review for Black Spartacus, which was the latest biography on Toussaint Louverture. Wrote a review for Open Letters Review, and I got so intrigued by the story, I wanted to know more, and I went back into the bibliography, and this is known to be the classic and what most major works on, Louverturian, I'll just create that word, Louverturian studies rely on this prime piece of material here. This is The Black Jacobins, Toussaint Louverture and the San Domingo Revolution, by C.L.R. James, and this is the second edition revised. This is put out by Vintage. So I'll just give you a brief synopsis here. This powerful, intensely dramatic book is the definitive account of the Haitian Revolution of 1791 to 1803, a revolution that began in the wake of the Bastille, but became the model for Third World liberation movements from Africa to Cuba. It is a story of the French colony of San Domingo, a place where the brutality of master toward slave was commonplace and ingeniously refined. And it is the story of a barely literate slave named Toussaint Louverture, who led the black people of San Domingo in a successful struggle against successive invasions by overwhelming French, Spanish, and English forces, and in the process helped form the first independent nation in the Caribbean. So, I've been collecting more books on Haiti and the Dominican Republic, Toussaint Louverture. I mean, I was so intrigued by Black Spartacus that, and I have the other biography that was written before Black Spartacus on my shelf too as well. So this is adding to my Haitian history studies and Louverturian studies.
Can I admit something
yes,
to
Martine.
you that you don't know?
Martine wants to say something.
As a kid, I thought that Papa Doc Duvalier was the coolest name I'd ever heard in my life.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I realized the man behind the name.
Yeah, in case you didn't hear it, because we're trying to hook it up so that at some point Martine can be heard by everybody in the background, that she thought as a kid that the name Papa Doc Duvalier was like one of the coolest names around. Yeah. And unfortunately, might have been a cool name, but
Ripper was great too.
Oh no. All right, so I'm going to start dropping books on the floor because I got so many to get to. And in fact, I've got some behind me. I don't know if you can see those. I'm going to have to pause when I get to those so I can spin around and pull them back to the table. Anyway, 6 minutes in, let's keep rolling. Another book I picked up from a book outlet. Always been intrigued in this story. It's a little paperback, quick little read. It'll probably be something I read and then donate. It's not like something I'm going to hang on to. But this is Into Africa, The Epic Adventures of Stanley and Livingstone by Martin Dugard. And let's see here. So this is about, obviously, Dr. Livingstone, I presume, that whole story. Huh?
Livingston?
No, it isn't.
Is it? You sure?
I'm pretty sure it's Dr. Livingstone.
Okay. Maybe he just slurred it when I heard him.
Oh. Hey, if anyone out there knows, is it Livingstone or Livingston? Okay, well, this is a true story behind the legendary explorer Dr. David Livingstone and Henry Morton Stanley, the journalist who set off to look for Livingstone when he went missing in treacherous African terrain, populated by fearsome man-eating tribes. This is, told with all the power and drama of a novel, Into Africa is an extraordinary account of pulse-pounding adventure. I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, just don't mix it up with Out of Africa.
Yeah, don't mix it up with Out of Africa. There's no Meryl Streep in here. It's a pulse-pounding adventure defined by alarming foolishness, intense courage, and raw human achievement. Okay, so, this is probably just going to be a one-and-done type of read. But I have a really cool biography up in the upstairs library on Henry Morton Stanley. It's a real big, thick hardcover on Stanley. So I just thought, you know what, we'll just kind of supplement that a little bit. Into Africa. Okay, oh yeah. So this one I'm really excited to finally have, and I want to read it, but I settled for the paperback, even though I've been searching for this book for hardcover, because I have his other books in hardcover, and his most recent book, which was Dominion, and this is Tom Holland. But this is the book I've been really wanting to read for a long time, and I don't know why I haven't yet. But this is In the Shadow of the Sword, The Birth of Islam and the Rise of the Global Arab Empire. I've read other books by Tom Holland as well. I've got Persian Fire and Rubicon. I really wanted to get this in hardcover. And you know what? This book came out in 2012, but just even trying to find a hardcover at a reasonable rate, and I like to get used books in like new or very good condition, they're still really highly priced trying to get the hardcover. So this was on Book Outlet, and it was like $5.95 or something ridiculous. And so I was like, why am I hesitating? Just get the softcover, Peggy. No big deal. This is an Anchor Books edition. It's brand new, so it's beautiful. And I didn't have to pay a lot of money. Let's see here. This is Tom Holland's culmination of his work on the great empires of antiquity. In the Shadow of the Sword tells the story of how the ancient world came to an end and how a new power, Islam, arose. Written with verve and panache, it is also an examination of what, for 40 years now, has been in an underground but seismic debate, the issue of whether, as tradition claims, Islam was born fully formed in all its fundamentals or evolved gradually from the seedbed of antiquity. Uh, okay, I think I'll keep it to that. We're already 10 minutes in, and I got a lot of books to go through. But let me know if you guys have read any of Tom Holland, or if you have read this one. This is supposed to be his classic work on it. Everyone who's anyone um, in the bookish world of antique, classics and ancient studies, they cite Tom Holland a lot. I watch a lot of podcasts and YouTube stuff. I mean, I go searching for this stuff. I'm really, really geeky. Don't say anything, Martine.
Listen, I love you.
She loves me. But yeah, I love watching podcasts with Tom Holland. Hearing his take on that. I need to get into Dominion, which was his most recent book on the rise of Christianity. But anyway, I wanted to have that one. Okay. So the next two books are going to be kind of based around like Africa and like current events, or recent history, I should say. So one book I found from Book Outlet, and then the other was like a sequel of sorts, which was on Hamilton, and I bought them at two different times, but now I have them both together, which kind of make up their own type of study. We'll start with the first book, and it's called Machete Season: The Killers in Rwanda Speak. A report by Jean Hatzfeld, and this is put out by Picador Books. So I thought this was really intriguing. This one has a lot of blurbs on the back. It's this preface was written by Susan Sontag. This came out in 2003. Obviously it talked about the Rwanda genocide, but I think she went and interviewed the killers that were involved. And let me just read I'll read the Kirkus Review's blurb on it. Of the utmost importance, frontline reportage from one of the world's more recent genocides, as narrated by the foot soldiers who perpetrated it. A trove for future historians and ethnographers seeking to explain the mechanics of genocide, and eye-opening, sobering reading for the rest of us. Let's see, I'll read the American Prospect had a really good blurb on this. Let's see. Over the last decade, numerous books, movies, and documentaries have been produced examining the international community's staggering apathy during those horrific 100 days. But until Machete Season, there has been very little written about the impact such global apathy had on the victims of Rwanda. As difficult as it is to admit, no one can better describe the atmosphere of despair in which these victims died than a killer himself. So that's chill. It's going to be kind of a chilling read, but she follows it up. So this was her book that she wrote in 2003, right? And then I discovered this book, which just came, let me see, when did it come? This came out 2015. There was a translation copyright in 2018. So this is the first American edition, came out 2 years ago. Well, not 3 years ago, I guess, 2018. But Jean Hatzfeld has come back with this most recent book. I'll try to avoid the glare there on my screen. It's called Blood Papa, Rwanda's New Generation. It's a slim little volume. This is put out by Farrar, Straus and Giroux. Let's see here. In Rwanda, from April to June 1994, 800,000 Tutsis were slaughtered by their Hutu neighbors in the largest and swiftest genocide since World War II. Oh, and I apologize. I thought this was a woman. Okay. Jean Hatzfeld. Jean is a man. Okay. In his previous books, Jean Hatzfeld documented the lives and told the stories of the killers and the victims. But after 20 years, he has found that the work of understanding doesn't stop with one generation. In Blood Papa, Rwanda's New Generation, Hatzfeld returns to the hills and marshes of Nyamata to ask what has become of the children, those who never saw the machetes yet have grown up in the shadow of tragedy. Fabrice, Sandra, and Jean-Pierre and others share the genocide as a common inheritance. Some have known only their parents' silence and lies, enduring the harassment of classmates or the stigma of a father jailed for unspeakable crimes. Others have enjoyed a loving home and the sympathies offered to survivor children, but will never know their parents or extended families. The young Rwandans and Blood Papa see one another in the neighborhood. They dance and gossip, frequent the same cafes, and like teenagers everywhere, love sports, music, and fashion. They surf the web and dream of marriage. Yet Hutu and Tutsi children rarely speak of the ghosts that haunt their lives. Here, their moving first-person accounts, combined with Hatzfeld's arresting chronicles of everyday life, form a testament to survival in a country devastated by the terrible crimes and traumas of the past. So that just sounded very, very moving to me. Indeed, just to know how another generation is growing up. I mean, I was in the military when that, I had just joined the Air Force when the Rwandan genocide took place. It's hard to believe now that, yeah, there's a whole generation, alive now that don't remember that or barely remember it, and that don't have parents or their parents were part of it, and how they're how they're interacting and dealing with it across the tribal lines. I thought this would be, when I saw this, I had already bought Machete Season, and I was like, I need to have a coda of sorts to Machete Season. So, yeah, 2 books by Gene Hatzfeld, a man. Sorry, not a woman.
I'd be very glad to hear that.
Yeah, Gene is like, okay, I wasn't sure about it.
Thanks for clearing that up.
You're welcome, Gene. Thank you for your reporting and your work. It's very important. Don't mind me. I'm trying to keep things a little light. I read some heavy stuff, and we're living in some heavy times. But also hopeful times. Yes.
How like the Broncos had a Machete Season, but that's inappropriate.
That is.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, let me just take a little sip here. 17 minutes in, Peggy. You can do this. Okay, guys, are you still ready? Take a drink. All right, here we go. Oh, okay, so you know what? I got 2 books over here that I want to highlight. And one of them, I'm thinking of Sean Standfast, Over the Pond in England. I thought of you when I got this book. I'm like, I think he must probably already has this book, but he was hauling books on the Zulus like crazy last year. I remember one video he did, he just had stacks and stacks about the Zulu army and the battles with the British. And, well, I found this on Hamilton Book for a song. And this is Ian Knight's The Anatomy of the Zulu Army, from Shaka to Setshwayo, 1818 to 1879. And this is put up by Frontline. It's a nice, kind of heavy duty. It's got really slick page. Well, no, it doesn't have slick pages, but nicely, lots of illustration, photographs. I just find that whole period in Africa, and especially the Zulus as warriors, to be a fascinating topic. And I just wanted a book that kind of really just went into the structure of their army and how, their tactics, how they worked. I mean, this is just, you want to talk about as true warriors, man. This is dope stuff. I love it. Love it. Let's see. Anatomy of the Zulu Army is by far the most comprehensive and accessible account I know. This is a blurb from a gentleman. I know of the Zulu military system from its early 19th century origins to its contemporary legacy. In it, Ian Knight expertly explores the Zulu Army's recruitment, organization, dress, weaponry, tactics, and rituals, supported by effective illustrations. It is a work that really should remain available, and I welcome its reissue in paperback, and that is from John Laband, author of Zulu Warriors, The Battle for the South African Frontier. So fascinating. Let me see when this is he's saying it's a reissue in paperback, yeah. Okay. It was first published in hardcover in 1995. And then this is a revised paperback edition published in 2015. So, yeah. It's a neat little book here. We've got about 250 pages. So, Sean Standfast, let me know if you're watching my videos. Hope you are.
It's not a test, John.
It's not a test, Sean. But I thought you would be interested in that. That's Frontline Books, The Anatomy of the Zulu Army. So in another book, I haven't taken it out of the shrink wrap yet. I love it when I get a book that's in shrink wrap. It's like, oh, this is so brand new. This came from a university press, but I got this book on Hamilton Book. They probably still have it available if you guys want to go there and check it out. But this is A Dance of Assassins Performing Early Colonial Hegemony in the Congo by Alan F. Roberts. This is put out by Indiana State University Press. I still have the shrink wrap. It's beautiful. A Dance of Assassins presents the competing histories. Let me see if I can get this up for you guys. Competing histories of how Congolese chief Lusinga and Belgian Lieutenant Storms, I'll just put this down, engaged in a deadly clash while striving to establish hegemony along the southwestern shores of Lake Tanganyika in the 1880s. While Lusinga participated in the East African slave trade, Storm's secret mandate was to meet Henry Stanley's, we go back to the book I just pulled, Henry Morton Stanley's, was to meet Henry Stanley's eastward march and trace a white line that was, quote, a white line across the dark continent, end quote, to legitimize King Leopold's audacious claim to the Congo. That guy was I almost said a bad word.
Huh?
Saying he's a bastard.
Honey.
King Leopold?
No, it's your booktube. You should be able to swear.
I should be able to swear, Martine said. She goes, swear away, baby. No, she
swear away.
Ooh! Okay, well, you know what? I mark these as not safe for kids anyway, so that's okay. With the new private, the YouTube guidelines. Okay.
Really, if they think there's a chance they might learn, they're probably like, nope, don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Friday night.
Exactly. Confrontation was inevitable, and Lusinga lost his head. I'm like, literally, or what do they mean by he lost his? Oh, he actually did lose his head.
You're like,
I'm sorry. I thought he got angry. Okay, his skull became the subject of a sinister evolutionary treatise, while his ancestral figure is now considered a treasure of the Royal Museum for Central Africa. Alan F. Roberts reveals the theatricality of early colonial encounter and how it continues to influence Congolese and Belgian understandings of history today. So it sounded intriguing as heck to me. I've got a very substantial body of African history, got more specific, targeted, interests in military history and tribal, studies. But this one I saw this, and it was, again, I can't even believe how dirt cheap it was. So, Dance of Assassins, guys. Hamilton book. All right. We're getting there. All right. Okay, so this book, of course, if there's any book that you are really intrigued in, and you're trying to be frugal with your book buying, but you might be interested in one of these, shoot me a note or in the comments or whatever, and let me know which book you're interested in. I can tell you where I got it and if it's still available and how much, and you should go there and get it. That's all. Peer pressure. Oh my gosh, I'm enabling all of you to break your TBRs, aren't I? I really am. I don't feel bad. I am enjoying this just a little too much.
I think you said you were going to have fun, but
yeah.
You didn't tell me you'd be an outright sadist. Is it just that,
it is what it is. That's what it is. She hates that phrase, by the way, but she hates it when anyone says it is what it is. What does that mean? I love it. All right, so the next three books also kind of, we're going to save this one for last. Books on a theme of a sort, whether it's like anthropology, ethnography. It goes into I showed a book last time in one of my last hauls about searching for the lost tribes in Amazonia, uncontacted tribes. I'm so fascinated by that. And I seek out documentaries on YouTube and elsewhere about uncontacted tribes or the last tribes who have made human contact and where they are now. So there's been a glut of these books in the last 10 years, and I'm just now discovering them. So I went ahead and got the ones I've been wanting. This one is called Mother of God. It's a little soft cover.
That's something I say like 12 times a day.
Martine. So, in case you didn't hear, she said that's what she says about 10 times a day. 12. It says, this is Mother of God, an extraordinary journey into the uncharted tributaries of the Western Amazon. Again, I'm just fascinated by the Amazon. I would never want to go there, but I like to read about it. It is a fascinating, just a natural wonder, obviously, but just how people were able to thrive and still thrive in just conditions I can't even imagine. But this is by Paul Rosalie, Mother of God. Extraordinary Journey.
If the first book in the series is called Holy Mary, that would be great.
I'm sorry, everybody. I laughed really loud into that microphone. I don't think he's written another book called Holy Mary.
He needs to. I need to write to him and say, dude, you are missing.
What would the third book be? Because you're the Catholic. Holy Mary, Mother of God.
Put that down right now. What did I tell you?
Pray for us sinners.
It'd be like, wait until your father comes home.
Wait until your father comes home is the third book.
Yeah.
So Paul, he's currently working on Wait Until Your Father Comes Home.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Cool.
We're kidding. We're being very silly. You know, it's 4:30 on a holiday here. We had a little dusting of snow. I got all excited. I don't know if I need to move to Canada now to get snow anymore. I live in Colorado. I live 30 minutes from the climb into the mountains. We don't seem to get snow here in Colorado anymore. Sorry, that's my little rant for the day. I love snow. I want a big blizzard. We're not getting it. Apparently other places are like Alabama and Texas. Like, what the hell is going on in the world? Climate change, I know. Okay, so sorry, a little tangent there. We're having fun. So sue us, right? No, we're having fun. We hope you're having fun. We hope you're having a good nap through this video, too. When Paul Rosalie, a restless 18-year-old hungry for adventure, embarked on a journey to the Western Amazon in 2006, he didn't know that it would transform his life. In the Madre de Dios, known as Mother of God, region of Peru, where the Amazon River begins, the cloud forests of the Andes converge with the lowland Amazon rainforest to create the most biodiverse wilderness on the planet. In a true story of adventure and discovery that spans more than 9 years, Rosalie takes us into the most inaccessible reaches of the Amazon. Along the way, he encounters massive snakes, isolated tribes, prowling jaguars, giant anteaters, and much more in the wild west of the natural world. It is a journey into the last great wilderness that ultimately asks the question of our time. How much longer will these places exist? The primordial depths of the Madre de Dios are in grave danger. So it's a little paperback from Harper. Super cheap. So I was like so happy to see it finally that it came out. This book came out in 2014. So so in the last 10 years, a bunch of these cool books just came online, and I was glad to get them. Now this one is called Blood River, The Terrifying Journey Through the World's Most Dangerous Country by Tim Butcher. Looks like it was a finalist for the Samuel Johnson Prize. Wow. Even John le Carré was like quite superb, a masterpiece. So this came out in, this is by Grove Press. Came out from Grove Press, 2008. All right, so this is cool. Here we go. When Daily Telegraph correspondent Tim Butcher was sent to Africa in 2000, he quickly became obsessed with the Congo River in the idea of following the 1874-77 route used by the legendary explorer Henry Morton Stanley. We have heard his name 3 times now in these books. It's so cool how everything's kind of different books tie into each other. Despite warnings that the plan was suicidal, Butcher set out for the Congo's eastern border with just a backpack and a few $1,000s hidden in his boots. Making his way in an assortment of vehicles, including motorbikes and dugout canoes, helped by a cast of characters from missionary aid workers to a pygmy leader, he traced the snaking course of Africa's mightiest river and touched the continent's broken heart.
Aww.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
An utterly absorbing narrative that chronicles Butcher's 44-day journey through the Congo Blood River is an unforgettable story of exploration and survival. And this was highly blurbed. Kirkus gave it a starred review. Kirkus Reviews, starred reviewed. Obviously, Washington Post. Just blurb to the heavens there. So I thought this would be a really, really fun escape read. And I do enjoy history that incorporates natural history as well. I like learning about the geography, the climate of an area. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the book I wrote a review for Book Browse Review, Magdalena, The River of Dreams, which was about the Rio Magdalena in South America, or in, South America. No. Bolivia. Colombia. No.
I want to play the Jeopardy music so bad right
dun,
now.
dun, dun. I read a lot of stuff, guys, so my recall, I have to think for a second, but it was fantastic. So obviously, so Mother of God is based in South America, in the Amazon, and then we have Blood River, which takes you to the Congo in Africa. So it's just cool. I just love how books can transport you. You really can be an armchair explorer in your mind, but then you also have the references of an internet, so you can look up and see pictures of these rivers or see pictures of the landscape. And that's what I do often. I don't just read these books. I try to explore online to get visuals. I'm a very visual learner as well. I love to see the wildlife, the waterways, and all that kind of stuff. So these will be some fun kind of adventure exploration when I'm feeling that itch to explore something that's alien to me. These books will fit the bill.
Well, I think it's telling that we're all stuck in our homes.
Yeah.
Right? So
good point.
You're like, screw it, I'm going to go on a trip.
Yeah, she says, these kind of books are really helpful, especially in a time where we're all really stuck close to home, if not in our homes all the time, that you can get into these books and really just be transported. And then that's what I read them for, and then usually when I get into a book, it's not, like I said, it's like a multimedia experience, because the book will open the door it's like, okay, I'm going to see what I can find on the internet, on YouTube. What documentaries can I find? What movies? So it's fun. It podcasts. I like to listen to. I don't know. I just can't get enough learning. I don't know, and I just don't know what it is. It's like
it's awful.
It's an awful addiction. Everybody. I don't know what. I don't know why. I just can't make the learning stop. No. Okay. So I'm trying to bundle some of these books together thematically so it kind of makes sense. And this book I found also, I think I found this one on Hamilton. But if you're interested, let me know. I can tell you which place it was. But this is a fairly new book, 2018. And this is Unruly Waters. Got a nice, beautiful, brand new hardcover. How Rains, Rivers, Coasts, and Seas Have Shaped Asia's History. So, wow. So we were covering all the continents there. I had the last book was on the Amazon in South America. We've got the Congo and Africa. Now we're going to go look at Asia's waterways, natural history, geography. It's so cool. And this is by Sunil Amrith. This was put out by Basic Books. Beautiful cover. Let me just give you a quick rundown here. Despite its ferociously wet climate of monsoons and cyclones, Asia contains less usable fresh water than any continent except Antarctica. Isn't that nuts? I did not know that.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, she says. Well, nevertheless, more than half the world's population calls Asia home. The struggle for water has been a driving force in modern Asian history. In Unruly Waters, historian Sunil Amrith boldly reimagines Asia's history through the stories of its rains, rivers, coasts, and seas, and of the weather watchers and engineers, mapmakers, and farmers who have sought to tame and control them. From the 19th century to the present, dreams and fears of water have informed visions of political independence and economic development, provoked efforts to transform nature through dams and pumps, and unleashed powerful tensions within and between nations. Starting in India, which is at the heart of the story, Amrith traces this dramatic history by following the monsoons, the mountain rivers, and the ocean currents as they cross Asia's borders, linking South Asia with China and Southeast Asia. Then he goes into the current push to build the hundreds of dams and the environmental impact of that, the dire environmental impacts of that downstream, and then just how people in Asia's coastal cities are increasingly threatened by cyclones and storm surges, and how climate change is accelerating all of these developments.
There's no such thing.
There it is too. And here's our author Sunil Amrith. But a great, brand new, beautiful book. Smells wonderful.
So
She says I'm so weird. Look at, I'm smelling. Okay, whatever. She doesn't want to look. She doesn't want to see. Woo! Guys, I might have to take off the flannel.
Oh God.
I'm breaking a sweat on this book haul.
It's all the fumes.
How many people break a sweat on their book haul?
It depends on what kind of books you read.
Is what I'm saying. Okay, that's true. Okay, so the final book on a theme, that going back to looking at ancient or vanished civilizations, this one takes us to the North America. Isn't this fabulous? I love how everything comes together. I got this book off a book outlet, and this is House of Rain, Tracking a Vanished Civilization Across the American Southwest by Craig Childs. This is a bit of a bigger read. This is put out by Back Bay Books. This came out in 2006. The greatest unsolved mystery of the American Southwest is the fate of the Anasazi. Yes, I'm not hand pumping that they vanished, but I've been telling Martine, once we get things settled with the house and we have, money to vacation and things are safe, I want to go to the Four Corners, and I want to see the Anasazi ruins. I have read about the Anasazis, and I remember I was reading and studying them back when I was a little kid. I remember reading a book about it that Louis L'Amour wrote, The Haunted Mesa. Yes, The Haunted Mesa, which kind of had to do with the vanished peoples of the cliffs there. So anyway, I digress. Big surprise. So it's the greatest unsolved mystery of the American Southwest is the fate of the Anasazi, the native peoples who in the 11th century converged on Chaco Canyon in today's northwestern New Mexico and built a flourishing cultural center, a vital crossroads of the prehistoric world. Their accomplishments in agriculture, art, commerce, and engineering were astounding. By the 13th century, however, the Anasazi were gone from the region, vanished. What brought about the rapid collapse of their civilization? Craig Childs draws on the latest scholarship as well as on a lifetime of adventure and exploration in the most forbidding landscapes of the Southwest to frame the questions in a whole new light. So I was pretty intrigued. Apparently Craig Childs has written several books on Soul Nowhere, The Way Out, The Secret Knowledge of Water, and the Animal Dialogues. But as soon as I saw that, and I saw the photo, and I'm like, oh, that's got to be Anasazi. That's like New Mexico, Four Corners area, cliff dwellings. Yep. Started reading about the Anasazi, and I was like, I got to get this. It's got nice photography in there. We got. So I feel like I got a bunch of really cool books on natural history, different regions of the world, natural wonders, vanished civilizations, last uncontacted tribes, that kind of stuff. So, cool. Okay. All right. So, there's no rhyme or reason now to the next. These are like the ones I've left. I've got two pieces of fiction here I wanted to pick up real quick. I've always been intrigued by who hasn't been? By Lizzie Borden.
Oh my God.
What is
Didn't we already do a vote on this? We did a vote on this.
Did we do a vote?
We did. Remember?
Oh, we did. I said, did you think?
Yeah.
But I told them what I thought in a later video. Do you think Lizzie Borden actually did the murders of her mother, stepmother, and her father? And then the Jeopardy music. And then my answer, which was absolutely, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. This is a novel that I had never heard of, and I was browsing. I'm like, what is this? And it's called See What I Have Done.
Oh, God.
Isn't that a great title?
No.
By Sarah Schmidt. And it says, on the morning of August 4th, 1892, Lizzie Borden calls out to her maid, someone's killed father. The brutal axe murder of Andrew and Abby Borden in their home in Fall River, Massachusetts, leaves little evidence and many unanswered questions. While neighbors struggle to understand why anyone would want to harm the respected Bordens, those close to the family have a different tale to tell. Of a father with an explosive temper, a spiteful stepmother, and two spinster sisters with a bond even stronger than blood, desperate for their independence.
And a crazy-ass sister in particular. Sorry.
Are you talking about Lizzie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a novel. I mean, it's kind of setting it up almost like it's history, but it says, and See What I Have Done. It says, oh, already an international bestseller. Sarah Schmidt recasts one of the most spellbinding unsolved murder cases of all time into a chilling, intimate story of a volatile household, sibling loyalty and betrayal, and a family devoid of love. My gosh. Ouch.
And didn't we see that
This
house is currently up for sale?
Well, you did. I have not seen that. It's a museum. I don't know how it could be for. Well, it's a museum / bed and breakfast. The Lizzie Borden house. Bread and axes. This was written in 2017, so apparently this was a bestseller. I don't remember it, but yeah. I thought, hey, a little fictional take on the old Lizzie Borden thing. Why not? See What I Have Done. $5.
That crazy kid.
She really was a little bit crazy. All right, so this one is a working translation. Found this on Hamilton Book. This is called The Book of Whispers by, hope I pronounce this okay, by Varujan Vosganian. That wasn't so hard as I thought. The Book of Whispers by Varujan Vosganian, translated from the Romanian by Alistair Ian Blythe. And this is what appealed to me about it. God. What will you people think of me? Okay. Why do I set myself up like this? I'm like, and here's what I like about it. A harrowing account of the Armenian genocide, documented through the stories of those who managed to survive and descendants who refused to forget. I guess I'm just intrigued by people who can survive through horrific things and try to still, turn it to the good somehow.
That is no way to describe our relationship.
Okay. Okay. I'm reading this now. The grandchild of Armenians who escaped widespread massacres during the Ottoman Empire a century ago, Varujan Vosganian grew up in Romania, hearing first-hand accounts of those who had witnessed horrific killings, burned villages, and massive deportations. Oh, this is not a novel. Okay. In this moving chronicle of the Armenian people's almost unimaginable tragedy, okay, it is fiction. The author transforms true events into a work of fiction filled with uplifting hope, resilience, and life force. That's what drew me to this book. Firmly grounded in survivor testimonies and historical documentation. Across Syrian desert refugee camps, Russian tundra, and Romanian villages, the book chronicles individual lives destroyed by ideological and authoritarian oppression. But this novel tells an even wider human story, evocative of all the great sufferings that afflicted the 20th century, world wars, concentration camps, mass graves, statelessness, and others. This book belongs to all peoples whose voices have been lost. Hailed for its documentary value and sensitive authenticity, Vosganian's work has become an international phenomenon. There you have it. This came out in 2017. English translation is 2017. The original book came out in like 2009. But this was on Hamilton Book, and it was, again, one of those things where I just stumbled across it. And, this was put out by Yale University Press as well, and it was, again, a very affordable book. Even has a blurb here by Alberto Manguel. We suffer from collective amnesia. We don't learn from our past horrors. Fiction perhaps exists to guide us there where we have allowed our memory to fail. Through family recollections, public accounts, and factual reports, Vosganian has built an extraordinary novel that is also a memory machine. After reading the Book of Whispers, we can no longer deny this shameful chapter of our common past. That's by Alberto Manguel, who's written many books like The Library at Night, The Art of Reading, I think. And so I was intrigued, and I was interested, and so I got it. There you go. Yale University. Martine.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a conundrum.
Yep.
It is 45 minutes into this video, and I might have to do a two-part. What do you think?
Yeah. Well.
I mean, this is,
I said not to tease it, but I think, yeah. Also, I think
people don't turn into a part two, though. They don't generally tune into a part two.
We're still recording?
We're still recording. Guys, you know what? I'm going to finish up with 3 books, and then I'll make the decision.
Yeah, let's do part 2 in your own time. Take a breath. Take a breather.
Okay. Let me finish up with this small little book I picked up. I can't remember if it was a Hamilton or Book Outlet. This is by Alan Ryan. I had shown on my another book haul not long ago. I picked up. I bought his book, which went down in price on Amazon. His magnum opus, his classic on politics. Little did I know that he wrote this little book, this little treatise here. Let's see here, on Marx, revolutionary and utopian. This is a Liverite Classics book. Little hardcover. Just nothing, like $6 maybe. Let's see, On Marx. On Marx, Alan Ryan examines Marx's political and economic philosophy within the Victorian context of Marx's own life and times, as well as glancing forward to the uses and abuses of his ideas by his many successors. Tracing Marx's influences from Hegel to Feuerbach, from French socialism to British political economy, and documenting his ideological battles with his contemporaries, Ryan provides a sterling explication and critique of Marx's theories of alienation, surplus value, class struggle, and revolution, situating Marx into the framework of everyday politics is never easy, but this one volume provides the clearest, most accessible introduction to Marxist theories in recent years. This is part of the Liverite Classics series, and the complete series will include on Machiavelli, on Tocqueville, on Aristotle, on Augustine, and on Hobbes. So I happened to stumble upon on Marx. How about them apples? Okay. All right, guys. I really thought I could squeeze all this in, but if you're interested for more, we have more coming. So look for it, and we'll be back again soon. Thanks for sticking around. Bye.